Welcome to Classic Game Room, where I'm sure that many of you watching are familiar with Wonder Boy. But have you ever played Revenge of Drancon on the Sega Game Gear, which is Wonder Boy on the Sega Game Gear? I wonder why they called it Revenge of Drancon instead of Wonder Boy, which is a much better title. Wonder at the wonders of Wonder Boy, kind of like marveling at the marvels of Marvel Boy, except Wonder Boy is more wonderful. In Revenge of Drancon on the Sega Game Gear, Wonder Boy was originally released to the arcades in 1986, published by Sega. It later found its way onto numerous old-school game consoles like the Game Gear Sega Mark III and the SG-1000, as well as the ZX Spectrum and Virtual Console. There's a number of games in the Wonder Boy series, and to be honest, it's not a series I'm terribly familiar with. So I was really surprised when first playing this game because the cartridge artwork makes Revenge of Drancon look like some kind of dungeon-crawling, spaceship-shooting, dragon-fighting adventure, when in fact, it's Wonder Boy. A far more light-hearted game than the design on the cartridge would lead you to believe. This is a side-scrolling platforming adventure game, as you can see, where you play as a caveman named Tom Tom, I think. I had to look that one up online. Whose girlfriend has been kidnapped by some horrific monster. Or something. So it's kind of like Mario saving a princess, except she's not royalty. She's just a caveman's girlfriend. Revenge of Drancon reminds me of Super Mario Bros. Meets Sonic the Hedgehog. With a caveman. He kind of runs and jumps like Mario and shoots his little caveman axes like the Mario fireballs, but you tear through the levels like Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a heavy emphasis on level memorization in this game, as you hop from platform to platform while avoiding all kinds of nonsensical dangers. You're basically being timed through the levels by that stamina bar at the top, or as I read it, the hunger meter, which you fill up with delicious fruits and nutritious snacks. It's a cheerful game with a nice soundtrack, and it seems like a pretty straightforward platformer. You just memorize levels, the position and location of enemies, and make sure to jump off of platforms before they drop you into a bottomless pit. There's some collectibles to keep an eye out for, and some basic boss battles. On the whole, Wonder Boy, or Revenge of Drancon, gets a nice presentation on the Sega Game Gear. Although occasionally the brown platforms do blend into the brown backgrounds. Sometimes this actually reminds me of Moon Patrol. You've got these random boulders sitting in the middle of nowhere. They should be followed by craters, while aliens bomb you from above. Holding down the left button on the Game Gear will make him run and jump higher, and then you shoot your axes with the right button. It plays nicely and fills the Game Gear screen quite well. I'd love to play this one on the Sega Mark III. Of course, I just want to play a Sega Mark III. It's got my name in it. If it's called Mark or Vectrex, it's got to be good. Revenge of Drancon was sent to the show by our good friend Alexander from Duisburg, Germany. Way to surprise me, Alexander. Seriously, I thought it was a dungeon game with like volcanoes and evil eyes peering through the soot, but no, it's Wonder Boy. You got me. It's a cute game. It's not exactly my style, but if you like Mario and Sonic games, you might want to check this one out on the Virtual Console or your game system of choice, or the Game Gear. Because it plays pretty well on the Game Gear. Revenge of Drancon! Thanks to Alexander from Germany. Don't forget to eat your fruits and table salt. They give you health.